Tonight, we'll tell you about a change in your favorite sandwich chain.
And also, find out what measures Iowa State is taking in student safety.
I'll recap Iowa State's senior night as 3 of Iowa State's best basketball players played their last game in Hilton.
And we've got a warm-up on the way. We'll let you know about that as Newswatch begins right now.
18. Newswatch 18 starts now.
Hello and welcome to Newswatch. My name is Danielle Carpenter.
And I'm Eliza Kjar. Thank you for joining us. On Monday morning, 4 students from Middletown, Ohio were injured in a high school shooting. The shooter, 14-year-old James Hancock, appeared to have walked into the school cafeteria and immediately began shooting. He ran away but was eventually caught. Hancock was charged with 2 counts of attempted murder and assault. All local schools in the area were put on lockdown and schools were let out early. According to a local sheriff, none of the students' injuries were life-threatening.
The Smithsonian National Zoo in Washington is currently closed after 4 goats and a cow tested positive for E. coli in their kids' farm. This was discovered by the zoo after one of their routine checks for bacteria that showed on Friday that the animals tested positive. This was followed by the zoo immediately shutting down. The zoo reports that at this time, none of the zoo's staff has been affected by the bacteria. The zoo will remain closed until they have 3 weeks of negative tests from the animals.
All Subway restaurants plan to be antibiotic-free in the United States by 2025. Subway states they have always done their best to notify customers of nutrition values. Selling a rotisserie-style chicken sandwich will be their next move. This chicken will not only be artificially flavored, and also not colored. Subway also plans to continue to inform customers of salt warnings. According to a recent ruling, failure to inform customers of salt warnings may result in a $600 fine.
A suburban Dallas officer was killed earlier today in a deadly shootout. Officers say that they were alerted of suspicious activity in an area park. Upon arrival, officers engaged in a fire where one officer was shot. He was unable to be revived after doctors performed emergency surgery. Officers say that the altercation began as an argument in a park and escalated into violence, starting the shootout.
As polls begin to close in Super Tuesday states, NBC News projects Republican frontrunner Donald Trump claiming an early win in Georgia. On the Democratic side, Hillary Clinton will roll to victories in Virginia and Georgia, while Bernie Sanders has taken his home state of Vermont. According to early exit polls, the GOP race in Vermont remains too early to call, while Virginia is too close to call. Trump and Marco Rubio are both vying for the top spot. Clinton and Trump are hoping to add to already comfortable leads in their respective parties' nominating contests, though both Sanders and the rest of the GOP field have sought to downplay expectations and pick up delegates, even if they fail to capture a victory statewide.
South Dakota Governor Dennis Daugaard vetoed a bill today that would have required transgender students to use bathrooms in public schools that match their sex at birth. In issuing the veto, Daugaard stated that local schools and districts can and have made necessary restroom and locker room accommodations that serve the best interests of all students, regardless of biological sex or gender identity. The legislation passed the Republican-held House in a 58-10 vote and passed the Senate in a 20-15 vote in January.
Apple was granted a new patent today for new earpod headphones that could be a preview at what will ship the new iPhone 7 in the fall. The new patent is for headphones that connect to an iPhone both wirelessly and with a wire. They can either be used without being plugged in, but also include a connector that magnetically attaches a cord to the earbuds and plug the other end into a jack. Apple last updated the earpods in 2012 and is due for an upgrade. The patent was originally filed in 2011 and has technology evolved since then. Stay tuned for more news after the break. You're watching Newswatch. Around 8:30 a.m. yesterday morning, Get and Go in local Des Moines was robbed. According to police, the suspect appeared to be a minor, although his face was covered by a bandana. The suspect, gun in hand, ordered the cashier to put the cash register's money in his bag, then ordered the cashier to turn around and face the wall as he made his escape. $70 was stolen from the register. As of today, the suspect has not been identified.
If you have received a random phone call within the last week regarding a transfer of money, you may have been a part of a recent phone scam targeting Iowa State students. These callers are claiming to represent the IRS and are telling that these people they owe an outstanding fine or that there is a warrant out for their arrest because they haven't paid some type of fee. While it seems that the latest of these calls are targeting international students, it is important to hang up and call the police if one of these calls comes your way.
While many states voted for presidential candidates in Super Tuesday, Iowa State started elections for its own government. Online voting starting today for Iowa State University's student government president and vice president, as well as senators for the student government parliament. Also on the ballot are amendments up for approval on the student government constitution. These amendments include topics such as confirming Supreme Court nominees, executive trainings, and non-discriminational clauses. Voting will continue tomorrow. The online ballot can be found in an email sent to students this morning.
With the death of the 18-year-old female student Emily Jacobs, who got killed in a hit and run on Lincoln Way just a little over 2 months ago, Iowa State is looking for ways to make the area safer. This is a street that is crowded at all times of the day, and the memorial that stands for Jacobs at the corner is a constant reminder that this spot needs to be more safe. Ames officials are currently in the process of hiring a consulting firm to look more into these areas that cause safety issues.
The murder trial of a local woman continued today. Local Alexander Fazzino has been alleged by the state and Boone County attorney of murdering his wife, Emily Fazzino. The state rested and the defense began making their case. The defense believes that Fazzino's wife died in an accidental drowning, possibly from withdrawal from prescription drugs. Family members of Emily Fazzino testified over her troubling condition. Criminologist Amy Propeller testified test results that showed there was DNA other than Emily Fazzino's under fingernails, but tests couldn't confirm what. The defense says a judgment of acquittal, but the judge denied the request, letting the trial continue.
And now we're joined here by Rachel Givens at the desk. Rachel, how's men's basketball doing?
Men's basketball won just last night, and we had a historic results at swim and dive. I'll tell you more after the break. Welcome back to Newswatch. It was an emotional night in Hilton Coliseum last night for 3 seniors on the Iowa State men's basketball team. Senior George Niang, Abdel Nader, and Jamil McKay had the crowd in tears before the tip-off with an emotional seniors' night speeches. The tears were quickly replaced with loud cheers and smiles as Iowa State went on to beat Oklahoma State 58-50. Combined, Niang and Nader earned 36 of the team's total points for the night. Junior Monte Morris added 6 assists to his total of 215 for the season, giving him the 3rd best single-season total in school history. Hilton Magic was definitely in the air all season as the Cyclones ended their season 14-2 at home. Iowa State travels to Kansas this Saturday to take on the Jayhawks. Tip-off is slated for 3 in the afternoon. The Iowa State women's swim and dive team had an historic ending to this season's Big 12 championships. For the past 3 years, the team has been placed in the top 3 at the conference championships since the early 90s. This year, the Cyclones took 3rd with 570.5 total team points. On the last day, the 400-yard freestyle relay team consisting of Savannah Townsend, Slogie Luo, Casey Roberts, and Alex Flattis finished the race in 3 minutes and 22.93 seconds, the best time for the Iowa State relay in Iowa State history. In the platform diving round, all 3 divers earned season-high scores, placing them into the finals round. This was the first time all 3 divers placed for finals in Iowa State history. Iowa State senior Christina Hillman ended her last season as a Cyclone on a very high note. Hillman threw her season best in shot put, marked at 58 feet 10 inches, and took 1st place. She also earned the Big 12 title in shot put. The women's team would go on to finish 7th with 64.42 points. The men's team took home 71 team points and ended the Big 12 championships in 6th place. In the 1,000-meter run, senior Brandon Wheat took 4th place with a time of 2 minutes and 25.46 seconds, and redshirt junior Christian Delgado took 6th place with a time of 2 minutes and 25.91 seconds. The Iowa State club hockey team also had an emotional senior night this past weekend. Jake Brune, Corey Sellers, and Alex Stevens were all recognized for their time at Iowa State. The Cyclones led 3-0 after the first period against Springfield Express. Just 1 minute and 16 seconds into the second period, forward Colton Kramer scored another for Iowa State with an assist from forward Tony Uglum. Leading 4-0 going into the third period, the Cyclones scored another goal. Sam Siladeau of Express scored the final and their team's only goal for the night. The Cyclones head to Illinois to face the University of Colorado this Saturday. The puck drops at 5 p.m. And that's all I have for your cyclone sports. Brandon, how's this week looking for weather?
Well, we've got clearing out there right now. That's going to bring down our temperature overnight tonight, but it does look like spring temperatures are going to return later in the week. We'll have more on that coming up after the break.
thepig.org.
Welcome back to Newswatch. We had a much cooler day today in terms of average than we've seen in the last few days, with temperatures in the mid-70s across the central portion of the state, 27 in Ames, 25 in Waterloo, and upper 30s down to the southeast, 38 in Ottumwa. The wind certainly didn't help today, and it's really hurting our temperature right now. 16 in Ames, 22 in Des Moines, 23 in Council Bluffs. It's very cold. Our temperature outside of our studio right now is 16, and that north wind is really making it feel cool out there. It's bringing all that colder air down from the north, and that's really hurting our wind chills right now. It feels like 5 here in Ames, 3 in Waterloo, and even -7 over in Mason City. Very cold and very unlike this time of year. And it's going to get even worse as we have that clearing skies out there. Those clouds are moving out, so it'll allow us to cool off more than usual tonight as that cooling goes on, and the clouds aren't there to stop that. So that high pressure will move out tonight. We'll see the clouds begin to move back in tomorrow morning, and we'll even see a shot of some snow, maybe some rain down to the south for Wednesday night going into Thursday as this low pressure clipper system moves to our south. It shouldn't be too much accumulation effect, maybe a ½ inch to an inch or so for us here in Ames, but something to worry about. Winter's really trying to hold on out there, but we'll see that's going to change in just a little bit. Lows will drop down to 13 in Marshalltown tonight, 20 in Ottumwa. Here in Ames will fall to 16. It'll be a partly cloudy night as those clouds do begin to move off with the northwest wind 5 to 10 miles an hour. But tomorrow we'll get more seasonable, 36 in Marshalltown, 33 in Waterloo, a tight temperature spread, 41 in Des Moines, and even some 50s down the southwest portion of the state, and 38, but those winds will kind of cool us off. We'll have those increasing clouds, and the winds will make it feel about 10 here in Ames. So it's going to be very cold with that south wind at 5 to 15 miles an hour. Now here's where the good news starts. 38 for Wednesday. We'll have that snow passing about an inch. Thursday will be sunny with a high of 34 degrees, and we slowly start to warm up. 47 on Saturday with mostly sunny skies. Sunday looks to be our next shot of snow, maybe some rain possibly, and then we really start to get up into the 60s, 65 on Tuesday, and sunny conditions. It'll be really nice, so make sure you get out and enjoy the day. We're going to send it to break. We'll be right back with more after this.
If you're looking for a pet at college, this could be your lucky day. Turkey is flying stray golden retrievers to North America to give them a nice home. This operation that they are calling Rescue Mission of Love is to help alleviate the large amount of homeless dogs in one of Turkey's largest cities. The cost to fly the dogs out here is about $2,000 per dog, and this money is coming from adoption fees and money that has been donated to the cause. So far, this organization has rescued more than 2,000 Goldens over 25 years.
Sunday night's Oscars featured a sweet treat partway through the event. Famous actor Chris Rock wasn't shy about his goal to help his daughters sell their Girl Scout cookies. A little convincing did the trick as celebrities in the audience offered up their money to buy several boxes of these famous cookies. At the end of the night, a whopping $65,000 had been gathered in exchange for these delicious cookies.
Lady Gaga delivered an incredible performance at the Oscars this Sunday. Singing her song, Till It Happens to You, from the Oscar-nominated documentary, The Hunting Ground, Gaga sang with such emotion it moved the audience to tears. Towards the end of the song, 50 sexual assault survivors joined Gaga on stage to honor their bravery. Gaga herself is a victim of sexual assault and wrote the song to support others who have gone through a similar ordeal. And that's all we have for this edition of Newswatch.
Come back Thursday night for more cyclone news, weather, and sports.
From ISU TV, thanks for watching and have a great night, Ames.